Welcome to Real Men, Real Talk, Nashville. I'm your host, Wayne. My co-host, Daniel, Uncle Dwight, better known, Anthony, and of course, Corey. Talking about real issues, what's on our mind. Hit us up on Facebook and YouTube. Subscribe, hit us up. Daniel, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Just sitting there wondering how important is social media. Like you're in a relationship and your significant other asks.
He went to college.
How you don't post me or anything like that. Like how does that affect the relationship?
Talking about adding posts?
Like pictures of you posting, just making sure you're posting just as much as she is. But if you're not used to doing that.
They got to be of your personality. If you're a poster, that's great. But if you're not, and you want to keep that privately, when it comes to social media, you let everybody know who you're dealing with if you want to. Everybody's gonna you let everybody know who you mess with if you want to. Yeah. Somebody gonna get tired of seeing y'all happy.
Right.
I'm not a poster at all.
That makes two of us. I'm not a poster.
I mean, if I post something, it's gonna be something positive, like something spiritual or,
or just funny,
meaningful.
Funny stuff, period.
Yeah, I mean, for something funny, but I don't. As far as me personally, I don't post any personal pictures of myself. That I mean, if maybe maybe boom.
See, that's the thing about it. He talking about as far as relationship goes.
Right.
Now, if you posting anything under the sun, then yeah, she gonna get hot. You posting anything, but if you can't expect a guy to post if he's not a poster.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at. I'm listen. You know what I mean? She's probably gonna get two good posts. Mm-hmm. One for Christmas and one for her birthday. It is what it is.
An acknowledgement.
Yeah, you gonna get that. I'm here.
Oh man. Icon, what's going on?
Everything's good right now. Still working on the house, getting everything finalized. The approval for the house came through, just waiting on all the paperwork here and there for the inspection.
I know it's that much work to get to moving the project.
Nah,
Moving out of the projects.
Hey, when you decide to upgrade your style, your life, there's a whole lot of entities that come into play.
Hey,
the work has been done, and
You live for you. So, everybody, make sure, your vote do count. So, the election's coming up. Vote for who you think is best. Let me touch on that. Trump wants to, ban TikTok, but for me, looking at TikTok a lot, why would you want to ban it when there's so many blacks that want to vote Republican on it? You see a lot. It's becoming a lot of more political picks on you TikTok as far as the Republican Party. So why would he wants to ban it? But it's more in his favor. I don't understand.
Well, looking at from what I've seen with TikTok, the videos I've seen, how you can add people's face to different movie lines and all of that stuff, and a lot that I've seen have been negativity towards him or with him, and saying stupid stuff, doing stupid stuff, which as he do anyway, but making him the full butt and the ass of a joke or a storyline or skit or whatnot. So
every talk show at night does that.
Exactly. So and he's against all of that too. So as well, why not TikTok be just added to the list as far as he's concerned? Right? Now that's just my thought process, my thought theory on that.
Do you watch TikTok?
No, I don't deal with social media. There's too many idiots out there. Just like if you make a post, there's somebody out there that's gonna find something wrong with it because they have nothing better to do than sit back and criticize somebody. But anyway, back to TikTok, the actual, if I'm not mistaken, TikTok was the media that kept Trump from having a big turnout to his daggone rally in Kansas.
Was it?
If I'm not mistaken, there was one of the social media networks that somehow
I thought it was.
took over blocks of attendees and nobody showed. And I think TikTok might have been that media source. Whereas talking about national security, China, that's not what it's about. It's about something that he feels was done to him.
He's a very vindictive person.
He's
If he
a
got
piece
his,
of crap.
if he got his sight set on TikTok, they've done something to him. They've wronged him in some type of way. Even though the benefits outweigh, you know what I mean, the negative press that he may get, he still has
He wants
the
to get-
Napoleon syndrome where he controls everything and he gets the last say. You know what I mean? Just like now he wants, you know what I mean, he pretty much wants to wipe out, you know what I mean, history, or he don't want it taught in schools now. You know what I mean? And people have to take a long, hard look at it. You know what I mean? I try not to influence anyone's political beliefs, because it's just like your religious belief or your sexual preference. If it worked for you, it worked for you.
Right.
So I try not to be that influenced, but at some point you have to realize that if he's staying on the campaign ad that he's going to fix all these things, that means we must have a pretty lousy president right now if we got to fix all these things that he's got to fix. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Ding.
So,
I mean, it's because because every time I turn around, somebody has a political outburst on, you know, the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, and it's like.
as I like to call them, the Crips and the Blues.
The Christmas.
Who's right? Who's wrong? Who knows? It's a turf war. We're gonna just shoot it out.
Right.
We're gonna shoot it out. Well, hey, I mean, hey, but still, get out and vote is very important. You gotta get out there. You gotta get out there and vote.
Make your voice be
Yeah,
heard.
your voice is heard, and because if Trump wins again, it's just ain't nobody get out and vote.
Or the ballots got thrown away. Or they in the trash compactor. Or you got the mail-in, and the mail-in folks didn't get in on time. He's doing a lot of things to make it difficult
He's
for
manipulating the
us to
system.
get to the polls. It's almost as bad as having a polling tax, being able to read,
Or
no
not
fairly.
Yeah.
Or not having a valid ID.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's doing everything in his power to water down the vote.
But for him to even just try to take over the postal service,
Try.
He did.
He did.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did.
He manipulated that.
so I mean,
Retarded.
when a person goes out their way to put up these roadblocks and these bricks, it's got to be. I mean, you would have to question why. What are you hiding? What is it that you're trying to not for the American people to see? But we know who he is. I mean, it's not like he's like a hidden president or he's not heard. Because he's the only president I know that's been on social media since day one. So it's not like he don't
Going hard too.
Right, hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Ooh, he go hard.
0 to 1,000.
So,
He'll
so
tweet
what do you
one
think
thing-
about the new Black Wall Street that they're trying to build?
Where?
That group of blacks that bought the 90 acres.
97.
97 acres.
But it's 19 families.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? It's a nice gesture, but in a country where we're crying equality, why would we even try to separate ourselves? I'm not saying that's a bad deal and that's awesome.
Because I was wondering,
But
you know,
we still at a point to where
we're
gonna
still
have
trying to
we're gonna have
segregate ourselves.
we're gonna have to pick a horse.
You're right.
Either A wants to be separate or B we want to be included.
Right.
It can't be both. of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, you can't say I want to be equal then, but you can't cross that line. Don't come over here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Hey, we gonna do this and it's just for the blacks.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? You're like, hold on, ain't this what we crying about?
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
And
I was like,
that's
I don't know if that's gonna work out well because you're gonna have one white person suing for discrimination. You won't let me move in the neighborhood and
Let's
sue
just be
y'all.
real. You know what I mean?
Time has progressed to the point whereas you cannot go back to that.
That's right.
The thing is, you gotta be smart enough so that the system does not outsmart you. Because there's gonna be powers in the background that are gonna do everything to make that Black Wall Street fail.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be like what they did in Kansas. It was at 1921,
Mhm.
they burned it down.
Right.
This time it's gonna be a way to manipulate and control what happens there.
And what they get, what resources,
Yes,
everything.
they'll do everything, those hidden powers that don't. The reason why that happened in Kansas was they were looking too good, too prosperous.
Well,
They
yeah.
want them to be separate, but then again, they want them to be separate in the
But
projects,
Right.
not
but see, that has happened so
over
many
and
times,
over.
not just
Yes.
Kansas, you're talking about Wilmington,
All over,
Delaware,
yeah.
Tulsa, you're talking about Rosewood. We have proven that we can prosper on our own. But that goes against the whole agenda about you being inferior. You ain't supposed to prosper on your own.
And it still goes on today, and it's little systematic manipulations. There's just like when a business does their marketing and determine if they want to go into area or not, that zip code,
Mm-hmm.
I forget exactly what
It's
zip
called
code.
red line. It's called red
I
line.
forget exactly what zip code it is, but there'll be a phrase in there that'll say a high population of convicted felons or a high population of unemployed. And guess what? All you get is the daggone loan companies, the liquor stores, and the corner markets.
That's right. What they call it is
That's
red line.
right.
They call it red line in the district.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? What it does is it actually denies and deprives people of color to grocery stores.
Yeah.
That's why most urban neighborhoods are what they call food deserts.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean, they're not gonna, you know what I mean, the banks ain't gonna lend money there. It's just not gonna happen. Even in California, when California first came, when the housing was big in California, the first thing they did was when they gave out the loans was made the people agree that they weren't gonna resell their home to people of color. And some of that is
Yes.
still in place today.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So if they was to sell their house, it had to be to
Yeah.
their.
Yeah.
It could be a person of color.
That's why the housing market is the way it is in California. It's pricing you out. So people like you can't afford to live there, supposedly.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And you know who started that? HUD started that.
Yeah.
Now you know. Now you know. Well,
That's a hot topic.
so yeah, I mean, so now, do you think the financial district now, if the way, you think, even though, as far as like the job market now and how the structure of certain areas are now, do you think financial institutions are going to be even more reluctant to, because I saw a piece yesterday where a lot of black-owned minorities of brown and black did not get any stimulus money for their businesses that they're suffering from, And there's one black guy. He started his own cleaning company, but he did 10 years in prison. But they say he did not qualify for the loan. And he has a successful business.
But it's amazing you say he can qualify, but yet we hear these fraud cases where guys can own companies and got $10 million and buy Lamborghinis and yachts and all this.
Oh, you're right.
So how was they able to obtain these loans and he wasn't? And that's the big elephant in the room.
But you know they always put these stipulars in there. You can't have this, you gotta have that. You can't have this, but you got